So here's your next contestant in the comedy stylings, Mr. Glen.
He's got a laugh.
A little hell mic on going.
He's on.
Test, 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Well, I've got a lot of slides to show you, and this here is kind of my guide here, so believe it or not, it's unrehearsed.
You should have said that after.
I'm not making this up, this is all true. I'm going to cover 3 different topics. But first let me introduce myself. I'm Glen Young, as it shows there. I'm from the Transport Airplane Directorate. I've worked there since 1992. Before that, I worked for the FAA and air traffic since about 1982 after Reagan fired the controllers. But, you know, I've had an interest in aviation for a lot of years. And so I got out the family album and I went looking through it to see if I could find some pictures of myself showing my first interest in aviation. That's me on the left. My sister next to me, she's a flight attendant for Continental Airlines. My mother and my next oldest brother, he's a diesel engine mechanic for Kenwood Trucks. This is the Illinois State Fair in Springfield. It looks like we're here for helicopter rides, but my dad gave me that helium balloon and said that's as close as I'm getting today. So. But the thing about that photo, I got to looking at it, and I thought, let me just look this up on Wikipedia. I went to Wikipedia and looked up Dork, and sure enough, there
I thought that was Simon there for a second.
That got me thinking, why do people take some photos? Some photos are just so bad, you just look at them and wonder, what the heck? This is a picture my mother-in-law took. There's some Easter gathering at Aunt Janice's. That's Aunt Janice coming out of the house there. But I'm looking at this photo and it's like, what's the subject? And then I looked at myself in it, and I thought, it doesn't look like somebody that's allowed out in public. That is not a good likeness. My wife is one, she takes a lot of photos too, but her photos also suffered. My daughter got married a little more than a year ago. My wife is no good at taking pictures of the camera this way. This is the only surviving photo of about 6 that she took of my daughter trying on wedding dresses. This is a picture my father took. This is the Arlington Cemetery. Back in 65 or 66, we were on our way to the New York World's Fair. That's the whole family. I'm the youngest one on the right.
You were cut through the cemetery?
But the thing about the photos my dad took is it looked like we owned a transporter from Star Trek because there's like the same people in the same pose and just the scenery changed behind us. So let me show you some photos that I take. Okay. The next one is a photo that I took. I was just out for a drive in the neighborhood, Renton, where I live and work. And I saw this business, and I thought, look at that logo. I mean, isn't that cool? AVS, American Pile Driving Equipment. I thought, oh, there's a place I'd like to work just to wear that logo on my shirt. Talk about branding. I mean, that's branding right there. This is a picture of me on a hike. There's a tree in our way, and I just thought I'd move it to the side. the company 10 years. My wife and I we taking a cruise to Hawaii a couple years ago. That's our cruise ship in the back, not the one in the foreground. But we're out for this walk along the beach. We come across this guy that owns this fiberglass boat. And it's actually registered to Hawaii. I actually talked to the guy about it. I thought that was kind of odd, so I got this picture of his boat in the foreground, our boat in the background.
Yeah, right.
Honestly, I think it's a good cruise. This sign here was one I encountered. I saw it from a distance. I said, we got to get closer and see what that sign says. That is an example of a sign in a bad spot. More recently, we vacationed down to Mexico, and this sign caught my attention. I guess something gets lost in the translation. No, I see something like this, and it just looks like something that needs to be photographed. My wife just shakes her head at me while I'm taking a photo. I don't know, this is on the side of a building, but it just caught my attention for some reason. A short distance away, I looked up and I see this guy getting ready to lower a couch over a railing. I stopped to take photos for a while until they were all kind of looking back at me like, hey buddy, you need your help. Get the hell out of here with your camera. So we walked away. I didn't see how it turned out.
Simon, is that you up there?
Walked by this doorway. This guy was swinging a hammer inside. I don't know what it was about, but again, it caught my attention. I took the picture. We were on a cruise at the time. Back in the cruise ship, I saw this bug. I think it's a grasshopper, but it looked kind of Mexican. This is also on a cruise ship. That's the ocean. You see right out there. You see the arc or the railings there. I thought that was interesting. Fortunately, I didn't need to use them this time. Now, the interesting thing in the men's room, if you get out a camera, it clears out real quick. Some photographs take a lot of patience. I actually spent about probably at least an hour trying to get this photo. It was crossing the Pacific. There's quite a few swells. The boat was really rocking quite a bit. I finally did get the shot. That's what was happening every couple seconds, and I kept just missing that moment. But yeah, you can see the difference there. I'm sure proud of that. Now, about 2 weeks ago, there was a big windstorm in Seattle. You guys may have heard about it. We lost power for, I was without power at my house for 4 or 5 days. But we had to go to work, and I ride the bus to work. You probably think the short bus after seeing the early photos. It's a long bus, okay. Well, I get to the park and ride to transfer buses, and I see where the wind is blowing over all these kiosks here, all these paper stands and things, except for the Seattle Times paper there, and amusingly enough, that's one nice thing about having a cell phone camera. I was able to whip out my cell phone camera, and I got a good picture of this.
When the wind blew, it ducked.
Is that Frank? My daughter, she's 20, just turned 23, but back in the early 80s, I was still working for air traffic. I would trade away my day shifts to work swing shifts. My wife would be at work during the day. I'd be looking after the baby. And I like to take pictures of our daughter. And of course, back then, you'd send your roll of film out to be developed. And somebody, my wife, she'd be the one to go out and get the film and bring it back. She'd never know what I'd taken pictures of. So I'll show you a few that I did. I taught her to play chess.
Where's Dave?
Dave might have played here, I don't know. She's pretty good, but she still chews on the pieces, so. She enjoyed reading about the world. She's naturally curious about her environment, just like any other baby. How many of you have children here? Show of hands, how many have children? Okay, that's quite a few of you. Let me give you a tip. A lot of parents, when they go to give their kids toys, they buy the cheap stuff. You know, they get the cheap plastic telescope. The kid quickly gets frustrated because it doesn't really magnify anything. You know what I mean? Same thing with microscopes. You know, they get the toy microscope and it's no better than a magnifying glass. You know, if you're going to do something, get the real thing. That's a real telescope right there. This is my daughter playing in the backyard in her sandbox. She enjoyed that quite a bit.
There's some water down there. Down by your feet, right now.
Oh, is it somebody else's water? Or is it?
That was simple, let you know.
Okay, this is the second topic I wanted to talk about. This is information that you can't find on the internet, what your government doesn't want you to know. Now, I gotta tell you, my wife begged me not to go public with this. But I had to share it with you because as a computer specialist, I think we all take pride in being able to find things on the internet, right? Somebody comes to you and they mention some topic and you say, hey, let me go research the internet and I'll come back with an answer. You know? So you go to Google and whatever search engine you got, you find all kinds of information about it.